What's going on, everybody? For all my listeners out there, man, I got the opportunity to sit down with recently one of the cats that I seen, one of the funniest cats in the business. You know what I'm saying?
Legendary comedian
Legendary
and actor,
comedian.
entrepreneur, of course.
Yep, y'all say that about all the comedians you have on here.
No, no, no. We got Tori, y'all.
got
What's
to,
happening? What's going on?
yeah,
I'm in the
What's up? What's
building.
up?
I'm in
yeah.
the building, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, fear, whatever this is. I don't know what it is. Not the media fear, whatever.
Yeah, no question, man.
Yeah.
So, God, baby, let's start it off there for a lot of people that don't know of you, which they
And that's
might
shame
never.
on them. Shame on them
Shame
if
on
they
them. I
don't
was getting
know
ready to say
who the hell
they
Guy
must be
Tory
living
is.
under a rock for a long
No,
time.
they must be living in a grave if they don't know who. Because I'm the GOAT. I'm
And
Yo,
the
we
GOAT.
ain't even got to, he ain't even got
I'm
to
the
say
GOAT.
where he
But you
from.
know why? You know why I'm the GOAT?
why you
You know
go?
what? Because I'm a Capricorn.
Up, see? There it is.
Originally from St. Louis, man. You know what I mean? Tell a story, man. I want to know. In my head, I want to know. I mean, how did you come up in St. Louis, man? Like, what was the inspiration? Because we're gonna jump past all that.
Right.
I want to know, man. What started you wanting to be funny, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was
Well,
you
of
the
course.
class clown? Was
Of course
you
he was.
was
I
everywhere
mean,
you go, somebody said you're funny, and you tell me the story.
well, it's not like, when I want to be funny, just born this way, born being a smartass, born, playing the dozens, born being a prankster. And, and you don't know at that age that that's what your calling is, or that's your gift. You just do it. And then as you get older, you start understanding how life works and how the universe works and how God works. Then you're like, oh, okay, this is what I'm good at. Then
Right.
this is the lane I'm going down. I'm not running from it, because once you work in your gift, or you find your gift and you flourishing in it, it beats working.
Right.
I truly believe that because some
No
people like
doubt.
to switch up on things. And if you know that you're good at something, keep going.
No
Yeah, I mean,
question.
give it more than one gift. So if you switch it up,
Hmm.
you may switch to just another gift you've been blessed with. But as
Right.
far as like, the whole funny thing started, I was always a class clown, the campus clown, the school bus clown, playing the dozens, football practice, basketball practice, track practice, wrestling practice, school bus in the morning, school bus in the evening. I was always that guy. I was never really a prankster at home. My older brother named Joe, who was the comedian. So, I guess that was his stage. So, but around my friends and schoolmates and teammates, we was always cracking up.
I know the girls loved you. I already know.
Oh, and I didn't have my teeth fixed back then, so they didn't love me that much. That was my old grill. I have no game. I'm awkward. I still think women are celebrities to me. I get starstruck when I see women, because I think you all are such. Yeah, it is. I mean, women are celebrities, man. So, I had a few ladies that back then coming up, I wasn't having sex yet, so I wasn't pulling sheets, but I was at least kissing in the cloakroom.
Yeah. Well, you said something that absolutely got my interest already. When you said something about you was an athlete and
Oh
you was
yeah,
funny in football.
I was nice. People who graduated in 1987. I went to Vision Performing Arts High School. I went to VAP, right?
Okay.
Okay.
When we were
VIP.
on Grand. I started when we was downtown St. Louis, and then we ended up moving over on Grand down the street from Beaumont High School. But I played football for Southwest, because that's the school I should have been going to. I wasn't going to this special magnet school. And I was nice. I was nice on that field. I was nice, wing back, then running back, defensive back. I was that dude.
No, so that got my attention only because
I got
you
receipts too.
only because I too came up, was a smaller guy than most, but I guess at that time in our lives when we was young like that, everybody wasn't that much bigger than us at that time. And
Well, they were bigger than me, but go ahead.
well, I just wanted to make a comparison that I too understood what you were saying. how
Yeah.
you was real nice when you was young,
Oh, nice.
and I wasn't such a big cat when I was younger either, and so that's why when you said football, I was like, when I
Were
tell
you
stories
nice?
about how I used to play football, nobody believes me. Like everybody
Right.
says,
Man, I keep my receipts on my phone. Every time somebody want to say something, I got receipts. I got a
yeah,
highlight
Like, let
reel.
me run it back.
We run it back, and they know it's me. It's like, it was nice. But I was like in high school. I was like maybe weighing 135,
Mm.
5'7", 135. I was fast though. Fast and had a lot of heart. And my dad didn't want me to play football. He thought I was too little. My mom had to beg him. I guess he gave up some of that good. And thank you, mom, for putting them 10 toes in the air so that I could play football. So I think that's
right.
what happened because dad was against it at first. And then once I
Okay.
started making headlines in the newspaper, then he was like, "That's my boy. That's my boy."
How did it pop off the comedian thing in
Mhm.
St. Louis? Like,
It didn't. It
a
didn't
lot
pop
of
off in
a
St.
lot
Louis.
of
It
comedians
didn't.
actually come from St. Louis, and a lot of big things happen. So you saying it never happened in St. Louis? You had
Right.
to actually leave St. Louis
Well,
to
I mean,
actually
for
get
those
it cracking?
for those who know my story, they know that I didn't. Comedy chose me. I didn't really choose comedy.
Okay.
I didn't do comedy in LA. I mean in St. Louis. I didn't start there. I moved to LA, following my brother's footsteps a little bit, and I started making footprints on my own once I got started. Um, so I got inspired by Def Comedy Jam, seeing my brother on Def Comedy Jam, and Martin Lawrence on Def Comedy Jam, and Eddie Griffin, and Bernie Mac, and Steve Harvey, and Cedric the Entertainer. Seeing all those guys on Def Jam inspired me. There was one comedian, I won't say the name. Hadn't said the name yet, but I won't say the name. It was one comic who inspired me to get on Def Jam and do stand up because to me he wasn't that funny. His set wasn't that great, and I was like, man, I know I'm funnier than that cat. And and I was like, yo. So when I got to LA, 2 weeks after I got here, I stepped on stage and I never looked back.
Yeah, that's what
Now,
it is.
did you meet, because I already know that Seth is from St. Louis. Did you meet him in St. Louis before, or how did that relationship form?
No, Shed was still in St. Louis. I didn't meet. I met him, but I wasn't doing stand up. He
Oh,
used to always do stand up with my brother, and he was come down to some events and do stand up, and so I knew of Cedric. I mean, who didn't in St. Louis know of Cedric the
right.
Entertainer? You know, you're dead if you don't know Cedric the
Right.
Entertainer. Been dead. But so I moved to LA before Cedric did, but Cedric, was already doing stand up, so he was
Okay.
already like an OG. Always gonna be an OG.
Let's fast forward. Phat Tuesdays.
Okay, shoot.
How did that come all about? I mean, because like you said, you was already in Cali doing your thing. You and your brother was doing comedic thing.
Wasn't beefing as much, but go ahead.
Oh, we gonna get into
Hey,
that.
you
All
see me
right.
tap dancing, you know what I mean? Like, because I got brothers too that, it's a long story, but I'm just saying, so I understand.
So
How did that pop off?
right? How did you get all of the
Like,
comedians to come together on
right.
Phat
I mean,
Tuesday?
well,
But I
first
want to
of
know,
all,
how did the idea
Hmm.
come about? I mean, I know Phat Tuesdays was a thing,
well,
but how did you kind of put that thing and get that thing rolling the way that you did? From
well,
the back end of it to the front end of it.
it wasn't an idea. I thought it was an idea back then, but as
Okay.
I look back on it, it was more of an assignment.
Mm.
You know, I thought it was an idea. I thought it was my idea, but it was just really God planting a seed in me to want to give back. We come from a family that like helping people, so without giving too much away, for those who haven't seen the documentary, go see it. It's on Amazon Prime right now, doing really well. 100% of Rotten Tomatoes. Best documentary of 2022 from the New York Times. It is amazing. It is powerful. It is the best damn comedy documentary ever. But it came about because there was a lack of presence of industry in South Central Los Angeles where the black clubs were.
Mm.
Okay.
And for us to get seen, Hollywood had to come down, to the hood. But this is 90, after 92, after the riots happened with the Rodney King verdict, they weren't coming, to the hood to see black comics. So, my dad always telling us to be proactive. And if you see something need done, go ahead and do it. Don't wait to be asked. I created a night in Hollywood, out of the hood, on Sunset Boulevard, at the world famous Comedy Store, to showcase black comics. I was already on. I was already working and starting to eat, okay. But with so many people getting passed up, it's like shit got to change. And it's too many brothers and sisters, who are funny, who ain't getting looked at. So that's when I took the hood to Hollywood and started the Phat Tuesdays at the world famous Comedy Store.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Was it? Well, obviously, it wasn't difficult getting talent to come into Phat Tuesdays and perform and do the different things.
No, it wasn't difficult. Not that it had anything to do with me. It was
Right.
difficult because it was at the Comedy Store, which is the Mecca, which is like, Richard Pryor graced that stage, and Robin Williams graced that stage, and Red Fox and Arsenio Hall, and graced that Eddie Murphy graced that stage at the Comedy Store. Plus, it was a white establishment, and niggas always want to be in some white establishment.
Right.
We feel like we belong too. Plus, it's on Sunset, the world famous Sunset Strip, man. So it was a no brainer that getting comics weren't hard. Wasn't hard at all. It was easy. It had nothing to do with me. It's just the fact that this is the Comedy Store. There are Hollywood agents down here and managers. There's celebrities coming down here. Bam. So I had it easy.
Right.
I had it easy. Didn't come. Matter of fact, it was a waiting list. There's comics who were begging to get on stage. I mean, I got the hottest night in the history of comedy, right? On a Tuesday night on Sunset Boulevard. A young black kid from St. Louis who'd only been doing comedy 3 years at that time, who never ran shit but his mouth,
Right.
and track, And I got the hottest room with Snoop Dogg and Tupac and Denzel Washington and Dr. Dre and Prince and all them coming, to this comedy night. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That ain't. I mean, my job was easy.
Yeah,
my job was easy.
And I seen a special. I think it was on Netflix that I seen.
No, it's on Amazon Prime. Don't fuck my money up. I mean, I like Netflix. Don't get it twisted. I done stuff with Netflix too.
Prime, you know what I'm saying?
Amazon Prime, yeah. Okay.
He's like, don't fuck this up, yo. Just saying.
I'm trying to do more stuff with Amazon, man. Don't fuck my mouth.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. Like, because I'm from out of New York, and I had the opportunity to see.
I can tell the accents, the bullshit Nick said. I see it.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity earlier to see other things and comedians and all of that. And I just thought that, to me, the Comedy Store was the best shit that Phat Tuesday was the best shit that I've ever seen. A conglomerate of a bunch of comedians put together. And I just always marveled at how that whole thing was put together, man, and how long it lasted and the things that you was able to accomplish.
To be honest, and giving a shout out to New York, because I styled my room off of Def Comedy Jam. Def Comedy Jam was out of New York. Def Comedy Jam was the best it's ever been when it was in New York. When they moved to LA, but when it was in New York, it was the shit. But there was rooms in New York, kind of like Phat Tuesdays, that inspired Phat Tuesday, the Peppermint in Jersey. Okay. Bob Sumner had it on lock. Bob Sumner was, is the guy who really put a lot of us on and doesn't get a lot of credit for it.
Yeah, no question.
I'm telling you, it was New York influence, that comedy, that New York gritty, grimy, and other rooms around the country. But New York was that spot what gave you that, damn, you did Def Jam. That's like better than doing the Tonight Show or any of those late night talk shows. When you did Def Jam, Russell Simmons, Stan Lathan, Brillstein Gray, Bob Sumner. I mean, they led us to the promised land. Def Jam was like Moses.
I just want to say big shout out to Bob Sumner, man. I actually know him personally. Hey, man, I was around him. We was, one night we was together. We was laughing and joking, and he was like, "Sam, when you gonna put me in this motherfucker?" And I was like, "Man, calm down." But it never.
Bob got a story, man. Bob got a story to tell.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It runs deeper than Phat Tuesdays, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely, man. Because I was with some like I said, I've been around some old timers from out of New York, Bob Sumner, John Blaston gang. You know, that whole thing, that whole crew back then. There, they tease me all the time about being a youngster
Let's
and
not let's not leave out Tina Graham,
yeah,
the
you know,
queen of comedy
the queen.
Mhm.
in terms of what she did, the godmother of comedy for what she did for so many comics and the black comedy game. Let's not, Bob Sumner, Tina Graham, man, what they've done,
Yeah,
amazing.
it's amazing.
I have to say, and I'm not just saying this,
Oh,
that
I didn't
you're
know she talk. I didn't know you talk.
I
He was taking up all the mic.
no. I have to say this though, and I'm not just saying this. You're one of my favorite comedians too, and the reason why,
I appreciate
and the
that.
reason why I say that is like Tripping was one of my favorite movies, and seeing you in that
Hitting a
movie.
different girl every night. I'm sorry.
No, but like seeing you in person and then actually still seeing you on set, I feel like you in person, you're still that same person on camera. It's funny, just funny as hell. Just and some people don't know how to, separate those two, and you just
Well,
with it. It's natural.
it's. I mean, I'm being with every character I play. You're gonna bring a little piece of you in it.
Hmm.
I can't be exactly the same on camera as I am on stage because when I'm on camera, I'm playing a character. I'm playing
Right,
somebody different that's not Guy Torrey. But
right.
there is going to be a little bit of Guy in it because I use real life experiences, and then but some of them that if it doesn't fit the character, then I throw it away. So acting is something completely different. So I just try to be me, man. I just try to be who I am.
How was
Um,
it working with Dion Richmond and Donald Faison? How
I
was
mean,
it
it
working?
was great. I mean, Deion Richmond, I was a fan of, from the
Mhm.
Cosby Show, and the Eddie Murphy sketch when one of his specials like kicked him in the ding ding. So to get a chance to work with that brother was cool, and he was mad cool to work with. No egos, just funny, just real. And then Donald Faison, same thing. It was great working
Mike
with him.
Campbell.
Maya Campbell was great and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time on that film.
Good, good, good.
Your routine. So I seen you command a stage like I haven't seen in quite some time. I mean, is it natural? Something practice makes perfect. I You tell the story.
Right, because the
I
way you
mean,
can
when you
for a
go
long
ahead.
time, like
I'm
now
sorry.
the way
Go
you
ahead.
can go on set for a long time and just kill it for hours and hours, and some people can't do that.
Um, it's all about getting those reps in. We talked about that in the Phat Tuesday documentary. It's about reps and it's about being on stage time and time again. I mean, I would hope I know how to command the stage at 31 years in the game. You
Right.
know, uh, I would hope I would know. I mean, I do close to 300 shows a year. I'm on
Mm.
stage all those hours. It should be my living room. It should be my toilet. It's because you're comfortable on your own throne. And you don't like using hotel bathrooms and public restrooms, but you're in your own home. You're in your own home on the toilet. You feel like a king or a queen. For the ladies, because I don't ever feel like a queen. Just yeah. Anyway, but that stage is where is my happy place.
Now,
You know,
was there a time on stage like just one time where you had bombed and then like the audience may wasn't feeling it and then you came back and they was it any time like that you kind of like bombed maybe in the course of your
bomb me bomb.
I mean, I'm just,
Me
I know
bomb?
you
Yeah,
wouldn't,
no,
but I'm just
I bombed several times before. Any commentator they don't bomb, and they lie to you.
how were
I had some
you able to
stinkers.
come out of that.
Well, I mean, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do. But
Right.
here's the thing about stand up comedy.
Mhm.
Um, Comedy clubs are the gym. Okay, that's a gym. That's where you go to the gym and you work out. You're gonna be
Mhm.
sweaty. You're gonna be dirty. You're gonna stink. In a real gym, that's where you're building your muscles up. You're getting your lungs right. You're getting your breath right. You're exercising. You're training. That's what a comedy club is. So you're gonna take some L's.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna take some L because you're trying stuff out for the first time. You don't know if it work or not. You don't know if people are feeling it or not. So
Mhm.
you're gonna take some L's. I don't care if you have the greatest stand-up set ever. Every single joke is not gonna hit every time. And you just can't let the audience know that that was supposed to have been a joke. A lot of comics try to dictate what the audience should laugh. I let the audience dictate what they want to laugh. Comedy is
Mm,
subjective. What may be funny to you may not be funny to him.
mm.
Right.
So I just make it conversational. And there's a lot of jokes that don't go over that go over big in some shows and fall flat the next show, but you'll never know it because it's conversational. I keep it moving. I don't stop. It doesn't fuck with me. It doesn't
Right.
throw me off my track. You know, if I'm not focused, then yeah. Sometimes, you're on stage and they ain't feeling it, your mouth get dry, you get caught mouth like you've been smoking weed. You start looking for jokes on stage. Like, I need a joke around. You start lifting a mic stand up. Is there a joke under here? Sometimes you just lose your whole train of thought. But if you
Mm,
go in centered and focused, and with the years that I put in this game, you're not gonna ever bomb again. You may have some jokes that may not go over, but a
right.
total bomb, nah. At this stage of the game, you shouldn't be bombing.
Right.
You
No
should,
question.
and you should know how to get out of it. I mean, there's some things that happens during the show in the audience where you got to stay focused. I've had seizures happen in my shows. I've had
Yeah.
people faint in my shows. I had heart attacks during my show. I had women's hair catch on fire. I've had
Yeah.
fights in the audience during my show. You gotta know how to,
Oh,
especially when
yeah.
you come a black comedian, you coming up in black clubs, man. You're battle tested. That's
Yeah.
why we're funnier than white guys.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to my question. You've been doing this, like you just said, for 30 plus years.
Mhm.
Are you finding that people are more sensitive now to the comedians? Like, you can tell a joke and some people forget that they're actually at a comedy show.
That
It's
shit happens.
comedy. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
and do you ever have to, well, obviously you do have to deal with that, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
how
Hey,
does how I want your assessment on how has that been from past to now
well,
as you've been
first of
doing
all,
comedy.
the world is soft now. America's gotten soft now. Everybody gets a participation trophy. And when you suck, you go 0 and 23 as a little league team and you get a participation trophy. No,
Yeah.
don't give that little motherfucker shit.
Right.
Mm.
Earn that trophy. So the
Right.
world, the world as a whole is going soft. The America
Mm-hmm.
is going soft. Everybody's sensitive and blah 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 blah. I'm gonna be me.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I said it before. I said it 1,000 times before. I give two fucks about cancel culture. I'm gonna do me.
I know
People
it.
who want to cancel other people are
Mhm.
mad because they didn't follow their dreams.
Yeah.
Bitter people. You don't see people who are affluent, who are living their dreams and living in their purpose, want to cancel other people. It's only bitter people want to cancel other people. I'm never root for anybody to get canceled. That's somebody's
Right.
livelihood. That's how they feed their family. That's how,
Right.
they get back to the community. And they made one slip up and you ready to just cancel everything they've
Right in.
done for their entire career. That's
And not
punk shit right there.
and then not only that, you're going to a comedy show. So what do you expect? You're gonna get bombed on. Don't sit in the front. You know what I'm saying? Even if you sit in the back, but whatever. I mean, you going to a comedy show. This is what comedians do. It's
We
their
we,
gift.
we we have
Right?
we have a different view of the world. That's
Yeah.
why you come to a comic club to laugh and hear our slanted view. You don't
Mhm.
have to agree with our view,
Right.
Right.
but somebody does.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
No question.
so when you come to a comedy club, it is a comedy. Don't take this shit personal. If you do, if someone's on stage and they start to attack you or start to talk about you, right,
Hmm.
and it affects you, then maybe it's true.
Hmm.
You better read the four agreements.
Yeah.
Whatever you if you take it to heart, then they hit a nerve. Then there's some truth to that. So you're not mad at the comedian. You're mad at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're mad
Mm.
at yourself.
Yep.
Slap
Yeah.
yourself. Don't slap the comedian. I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah.
Slap yourself. Don't slap the comedian.
Okay. Okay.
I
No
ain't gotta say
question.
nothing else after that.
Yeah.
Y'all read
Where
between the
the
lines.
How was it, the relationship with you and your brother, like growing up and different things like that? Were you guys able to work together and stuff in different films or in with different comedy shows and stuff like that? Or because I know you were saying something with the beef and
Yeah,
different like that,
yeah,
but
I mean, it's sibling rivalry. It's
yeah,
nothing new to families. Families fight.
absolutely.
Cain and Abel. Cain kill Abel.
Yeah,
Um, But families fight.
Yeah.
I love my brother Joe. I don't
Abs-
like him, but I love him. That's my brother. That's my mentor. I'm always
mm,
gonna be big bro. But do I what do I like him 100% of the time? No,
Right.
very small percentage of the time. And that's just what it is. Alpha male and alpha male. And
mhm.
but because he's big bro, he got even alpha male. And then
Right.
being a narcissist, he's alpha male. But I mean, I got to touch on narcissism too. Don't get it twisted.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm self aware, which I thank God every day for making me self aware. I know when I'm being an asshole.
Mm.
Maybe sometimes I don't, or sometimes I do, and I just like it to be an
Right.
asshole. Had to clarify that. But no, the thing about it is like it's just family fight, and
Yeah.
he's big bro. I'm always gonna, you know, give him his props for what he did in the for me in the business and things like that. I'll never not say I wasn't inspired by my big bro. But people grow up, you be adults, you grow apart, and families fight. It is
Mhm.
what it is, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no question.
I don't shy away from it. I don't hide it like, oh, we're
Mhm.
happy. No, we don't
He's a
fuck with each other like that,
he's a great actor too, by the way. I felt like
Absolutely.
y'all had y'all different. Like you were more of the comedian, he was more of the actor and stuff like that. I saw that within both of y'all too.
I don't know about that. I think you're wrong on that one.
Really?
I'm a better comedian and a better actor. Let's
You
not get
are
it twisted.
both with
And
me.
a, and a, and a
Yeah,
better person. So let's not get it twisted. My brother's good, but he's not a better actor than me. He's not a
no,
better comedian than me,
it's
and he's
you.
not a better
It's
person than me.
you. I was
But I
just
love
saying that
Big Bro.
he's a
But let's
good
not get it twisted.
Hey, 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 hey,
I'm just gonna tell you what it is.
yes,
I ain't
right.
gonna hit the
actor.
sugarcoat shit.
Absolutely.
Boy, I love this
Absolutely.
man because he don't play games. He stop play.
Absolutely.
It
The
is. I'm not
foundation,
gonna.
It is. It's the truth.
the
The
foundation
truth.
is that your brother's
I'm sorry I
foundation?
had to correct you, sweetheart, but yeah.
Is that your
Now,
brother's found? Are you being self-aware right now? No, I'm just
now,
kidding.
now, 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 I will say that my brother has a bigger heart than me. People don't know
Okay,
that. My brother's heart is bigger than my heart. Absolutely.
okay.
But sometimes that ego bullies that heart. But his heart is bigger than mine. I will say that.
The foundation. Um, what's the name of the
Which
foundation?
foundation?
Is this your
My
brother's
brother's
foundation?
foundation? No, it's my
Yeah.
brother's foundation. His
Give back
brainchild,
to.
his idea. He and my sister Roberta McWoods, they ran it and they did a great job. A lot of things in the community. They had all the stars, coming to St. Louis and hooping it up with the stars. And it was a great thing. I will hope they bring it back. Things just got overwhelming for both of them and they couldn't, multitask with everything they had going on. But it was great for the community. It was great for just humanity, but also great for the stars that came to St. Louis, have never been to St. Louis, and saw what a great city it is, and had a good time. I still run into people who used to come and say, "Man, I sure missed your brothers hooping up with the stars." I mean, I get that
Right.
all the time. So I hope my brother and my sister Roberta bring it back.
And I have to ask a question too. Like, how did you guys when did you guys find out like about the Star Walk of Fame downtown in the Delmar Loop? Because I know they have different stars
Right.
down there and different things like that. And everybody always like, oh yeah, the Hollywood Walk of Fame is the first star thing. And I'm like, St. Louis got, stars downtown at the Delmar Loop. Were any of you all involved in a lot of those stuff? Because I know I've seen like
No,
several.
I mean the Hollywood Walk of Fame is predates the St. Louis, the U City
Oh, okay.
Walk of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah, trust me, that's been around forever before you were
Okay.
born.
Okay.
But the U City Loop and their Walk of Fame,
Mhm.
celebrates local St. Louisans, which I think is
Right.
great. Who have done
Okay.
great things in the community, or the great things
Right.
in their career, and I'm not involved in it at all.
Okay.
If one day God sees fit to honor me like that, great. If not, my career is still solid. I still love St. Louis. I love the new city. I love the Loop. I don't do what I do for recognition or for
Right.
awards. I do it because I'm a servant. I do it because it's my purpose. I do it because it's a gift that God gave me, and so that's why I do it. Awards and stuff, that's just extra, but that's never my goal.
Okay.
So I heard you talk about how big your brother's heart is.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about you. Are you a giving person? Because that also comes with having a big heart. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah. I give people shit all the time.
Oh, he's a Capricorn, of course.
Right. So
No,
Oh,
yeah.
there
I
you
mean,
you know, the
it
reason why I
goes
said
back.
that.
It goes back to two people:
Okay.
Robert Guy Torrey Sr. and Rebecca Louise Torrey, mom and pop. That's how they raised us. raised. Rest in peace, pops. But he was a prayer warrior. My mom's still our prayer warrior. They taught us how to give back. They taught us
Right.
how to be humble.
Right.
I think Joe missed the humble lesson, but they taught us how to be. They taught us how to be humble. They taught us how to give back. And Joe, I mean, he really took it a step further and really started the foundation. And he inspired me to do giving back. I worked at home. I volunteered at the Homeless Foundation here in Los Angeles, downtown on Skid Row. So that's my way of giving back,
Right.
along with just tutoring other comics and things like that, and help out when I can with different charities, either lending money, giving money, or my time, or organizing. So giving back is something that's just it's in our DNA.
Right. And that's what that was the question that I was actually asking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, you got to be of a certain person. You got to be raised a certain way to not be afraid to kind of reach or help others. You know what I mean? Extend a helping
Right.
hand. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and, and,
And
and
some and I'm gonna respectfully disagree with that, because sometimes you don't have to be raised like that. Sometimes if it's in
that's
you,
true.
it's in you. If
Yes.
God plants that seed in you, and you're
Yeah.
around people who don't give back, you can still be that person that gives back. So it's not all about. We were fortunate enough to have parents to raise us that way,
Right.
Right.
but there's some people who are not raised that way who still find it in their hearts to get, or their spirit to give back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was just trying to get through, Tori, because I know I too, you've been with me, Sonny. I'll be driving down the street, I'll see somebody, I'll pull over. If I have them in my car, I'll give them some sneakers or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just
You should
I'm
get.
the
You should get. You should give him that Knicks hat. That's the next thing
right.
you should give up. Get you a Laker hat. Give him that Knicks hat, and you get a
Hey
Laker
man,
hat.
hold on, man. About my New York Knicks over there. I'm a Knicks fan till I die. So I got a question for
And
you,
you're
man.
gonna die with them not
I have
winning
an
another championship
opportunity.
too.
Remember, we got 2 against 1. St. Louis against New
Hey
York.
man, hey man, I run up against that all the time. I had an opportunity to actually see you fresh off a stage. So I know when you're on stage, you hype a certain way. Does it take you time to kind of decompress when you get off stage? Because I know
Absolutely.
sometimes you don't. There's a switch that goes on. It's like playing ball. Even after I'm playing, it still take me a little bit of time to come down after the game is over. I mean, is that the same thing that happens after you perform?
Absolutely. When I'm on stage, I can't speak for every comedian, but when I'm on stage, especially when I'm doing an hour and 15, hour and a half, I'm emotionally, mentally, and
Mm,
just physically drained. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've been off the road for a while. I think when I did the show that you were at, and I
Mm-hmm.
forgot how you have this. There's a physical shape you have to be in for stand up. And I forget, especially when you're coming back after being off the road for weeks, and you're doing an hour and a half. You're drained emotionally, because
Mm-hmm.
you are going to work. You want people to laugh. You're drained physically, because I move around a lot, and then you're drained um, physically, emotionally, and just mentally, because your
right.
brain is trying to remember setups and punchlines, and get the timing right, and they're feeling this. If not, oh, I got to go over here, and so yeah, that's why a lot of times I don't come out, and I used to come out all the time, and take pictures with the people who come to my show. I stopped because of COVID, but then what I realized when I stopped doing that, I realized, especially when I got a second show after that, I realized that's my refuel time. That's my
Mm,
time to come down and get back up. Because black people, we great, but when we can be grabbing you and, oh,
Yeah.
give me a
And
picture,
then,
and that's
like,
that can be draining.
energy is transferable too. Sometimes
Oh
people don't
yeah,
realize that, and you
energy and
gotta
germs,
show
and
energy. Yeah.
germs are transferable.
Mhm.
I've caught colds before. They taking pictures with people, and they laughing and sneezing on you,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, next step of the day, you got sniffles. Like,
Mhm.
damn. So after COVID, I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Stopped going out. I miss it. I miss the people and telling people that thank you for coming, but I gotta protect the instrument. I'm my instrument. I gotta stay well. I gotta stay
Yes.
well. I gotta be healthy. I gotta protect my voice. Gotta protect my physical, my energy. So for the next show, I can give them an even more better show than I gave you. The first or second show.
Right. A
Mm-hmm.
question.
Yep.
What's next for God? I mean, what's some of the things you got coming up? What's some of the things you're doing? You
What?
let us know what it
Well,
is.
what's next is your little sister's supposed to be here about 3. So when she knock on his door, then I'm gonna knock that down. But then after that,
I love
no,
him. Your
she
sense
got
of
some she
humor.
got some jaws on her. Um, no, I'm always still out touring, doing dates, man. But at the same time, creating these other shows out, under the Phat Tuesday umbrella. That was the hub. That was a catalyst for everything else that's coming. So more unscripted shows, scripted shows. Working on my comedy specials I've been working on for years. But
Okay.
now I feel like right now I feel like I have something to say, and maybe a little bit more people know me than before. So that's what it is, and just trying to get my social media game up.
Hey, God, let me just say this, man. You absolutely right about the business changing. It was a time where I would never get on video.
Yeah.
I can see. I look
'Cause
at you and tell you never should have, and you still
watch
probably
out,
should be
man,
on
with the
video.
watch out there, big
I,
guy
I can't.
pimping.
I can't. I think you should reconsider that.
Watch it, boy. Watch it, boy. You know what I mean? And I don't know what's going on behind you, man, but I'm liking that whole picture that's moving and shit. But anyway, back to what I was saying.
Ooh, ooh.
That Tuesday. Yeah.
Ooh.
The game has absolutely changed. And being that you're doing the things that you're doing, man, you ever thought about the different platforms that you would need to be able to kind of spread yourself a lot wider than where you are now? You know what I mean? Because, like you
Yeah, of
said,
course.
social media has changed. It's a whole different way of doing things now. Even I had to kind of, listen to my people. It was like, yo, you got to come from behind that radio with that microphone and get on the video. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. But it just took some used to getting used to.
Yeah,
I say all that to say, man, are you
they shouldn't
looking
have
to
told you
expand
that,
your
but
brand?
that's okay. They
What you
shouldn't have
say,
told
kid?
you that.
I'm
They shouldn't have
saying, man,
told
don't
you
bring
that.
New York out of me, baby. I'm just saying,
They shouldn't have told you that. They ain't your friend.
Are you expanding your brand, and then like, are you
I
thinking about
I
like doing
am.
movies or doc? You should do a doc. That would be dope too.
Yeah, I'm working on several projects, and not just saying that because a lot of entertainers like say, "Oh, we're going to these projects." I'm really working on these projects now.
okay.
Have you seen Phat Tuesdays? I think that had to be first because I had to let people know my story, but also the comedian story, but also what I'm about. I'm not a gotcha guy. I mean, that documentary could have went in so many different ways. There's so much mudslinging on in some of those interviews, and beef going on that wasn't my brother and I. That we protected a lot of comedians from what they said about other comedians and other celebrities and things like that, because that's not the documentary we wanted to do. And I'm so grateful to have a team, and Reggie Hudlin and his team, who was on the same page. It wasn't. It
Okay.
was, we wanted to be a feel good doc. We didn't want to gotcha and like it's all. And no, because I asked people to come out and do the documentary for me during COVID, and so I can't ask you to come out and do me a solid, and then I throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
I'm not built that way. I'm not wired that way. I'm not going to be wired that way. I'm not that. I'm not thirsty like that
Right.
to where I gotta be like cause controversy. Now the doc did cause a lot of controversy because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people who unfortunately weren't able to be in the doc, and they're a little salty that they weren't in the doc. And some we reached out to and they declined an interview or declined an interview, and then now they're mad they weren't in the doc and want to blame me. There's others who we just couldn't fit in. I mean, we had a limited time to do it because of COVID. We had a deadline. We had mandates and things like that, and a cap on who we could interview and who could tell the most, colorful, truthful story. And if two people had the same story and the same, incident, and one had a bigger name than the other one,
Mm. Right.
who are you gonna go with? You know, that
Or
we're gonna go with. So it's disappointing that friends of mine, good friends of mine, didn't understand that. It's disappointing that they thought that that was just it. That I wasn't working on other projects. It was going to include them. And these are people who did their own projects. They know
Right. They
they
know the
they
process.
know how to process. They know how the story goes. But their ego and narcissism just got the best of them.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate because they got real mad and and
Mm.
throwing my name dirty in the streets and stuff and what they don't know is I got hands.
Right.
I don't care what
Hey,
type of gloves you
you
got or how
look like
bigger
man,
you
he a
are than
prize
me.
fighter or some
I got
shit.
hands.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Period.
You listen to God.
Hey,
God think he a prize fighter or something. Like
well,
I
you
done heard him
know,
a
I
couple
got
times
hands.
I'm
reference
gonna have to.
about how he got hands and
Hey,
all
I'm
that.
gonna have to agree with him because St. Louis got
Here we
hands.
go
Got
again with
hands.
the St.
So
Louis
Number
thing.
don't
one
be
got
mad at me if you're not in the documentary. Be mad at yourself. But
Right.
there's more to come. And look, I want to put
hands.
everybody on that I can, especially who's in that Phat Tuesday era. But it's going to be multiple projects, and it doesn't stop there. I got tons of friends who are directors, producers, and writers, and run studios, and I haven't been in any of their projects. Am I
Mm.
mad at them?
No,
No, because
right.
if God wanted me in their
It's gonna circle
projects,
back
God would
around.
have put me in their projects. I
Right.
don't bring it up. I don't get
Right.
mad at them. It's like, yo, I'm not your friend because of what you can put me in. I'm your friend because I fucks with you. You know,
Yeah.
Exactly.
we vibe on a whole different level. I respect what you do. I'm not gonna put you in that situation to where you got to put me in something.
Yeah. And,
If it
so,
works and it
not only
fits,
that,
yes,
it also circles back around too. So those blessings come back around later, and you end up working something different with
yeah.
them.
And I don't do it for that reason. But if
Right.
God sees fit, then God sees fit. Other than that, man, keep it pushing.
Yeah. Was there any like speaking of comedians, were there any like specific comedian that like spoke some inspiration to you that actually stuck with you on the way? Like anybody
Oh
that
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of comedians who I started with who we still like brothers today. There's some that we started with that we're not brothers today because Um, anyway, but
Right.
Tony Rock is my brother. Ruben Paul is my brother. I mean, these are comedians who we respect each other's game. We still hear Talon Harris. Um, man, so many that I started with. What's oh man, so I
DL
can't.
Hughley?
Well, Dio is an OG.
DL.
He's in my brother's class. He's in
Gotcha.
my brother class. He's an OG. But
Mhm.
Angela Means, who started kind of around the same I started a little bit before, but we all support each other. Lunell,
Oh, oh yeah.
Lunell, Dave Chappelle, those guys uh, started either with me or right before me or a little after me, and we're still thick as thieves. I mean, we still good. We still root for each other. Cat Williams, always showing love. Kevin Hart, J Dub, Joey Wells. We started around the same time. We still thick as thieves. So, even Monique, man, we
Yeah.
started around the same time, and
Love Mon.
she was going to do the doc. We couldn't work the scheduling out, and I wanted her in the documentary. But yeah, some more. I mean, Cheryl Underwood. Lonnie Love. I mean, I feel like that's my class, my draft class.
Right.
And we still out here making a good living and making people laugh.
Yeah. No
We laugh
question.
sometimes because it's like, man, we still here. It's
Yeah.
been
Right.
31 years and we still here.
Yeah. No question. I got a question, man. You talk about how good you is with your Smitties and all that. You
I
know,
ain't that good. I'm just all talk, man. I can't fight.
yeah, yeah,
I
all
can't
right.
fight.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't fight.
Listen, I'm curious.
That's why I ran track because I just run away from the fight.
Was there ever a time, man, when you was somewhere getting ready to do a show or finish a show, man, where it may have gotten a little physical, whether it be with you and another comedian?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I ain't no punk. Uh, it was in Houston. It happened with a patron of a of
Okay,
a of a paler hue, uh, who said the N word,
okay.
Mm.
and because I'm left-handed, he didn't see this left.
Hey, hey,
All I'm gonna
see
say,
what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? About us being lefties? You know what I mean?
he didn't see
You
this
know what I'm saying?
left,
When you put the
and
Wanda
and
brothers,
and I got a 2 for 1 because he fell into his girl and they both fell down the steps. Now, I didn't hit her, but I hit him, and I got a 2-for-1. So I guess it was 2-for-1 Tuesdays, and you know, and he got that left. I just hope he never said the N word out of his mouth again.
Yo, that was crazy. Hey man, I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate you coming out, man. You rocking with us. If any time, man, you need Media Made, you know, because we have a couple things going on over here. You know, we got Media Made TV, Media Made Radio, the magazine, and all that.
That's good. Salute to y'all, and God bless y'all for that, man.
Yeah,
It's good
man.
seeing
Anytime.
our people. We need these platforms to get our stories out. They're trying to erase us from the history books and all that stuff. So the more platforms of our people can get everybody's stories out, not just entertainers, but inventors and teachers and doctors in your community, or somebody who's giving back to the community. Celebrities aren't the only stories that need to be heard. There's a lot of people in the community who need those stories told, and platforms like yours, you know, allow that to give them a voice and inspire others, you know, to do well.
Yeah, man, definitely, man, because that's my thinking. You know, I reach out to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always reaching out. I'm always extending my hand. Like, it's just the way I am and who I am. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I laugh and joke, and you know, we go through the whole thing because I'm from whatever.
I like to manifest. So when I heard you was coming, when I heard God was coming, I was like, oh,
right. But that don't stop me from being who I am and being able to give back, man, and also look out for those that are less fortunate than I am.
But that's a good thing, because while you're reaching out and while you're giving back, man, you should really reach and take those drugstore readers glasses off and get you a real pair of frames that aren't like readers from Walgreens or CVS or Reed's or Dwayne Reed.
Hey, yo,
so
man,
while you're giving back, give the readers back.
My WGs alone, man. You know what I mean?
If those are off by the counter when you ready to check out to get up their little rack, those are some readers you got on, man.
Hey man,
me and Sonny got real frames on. You got the
hey man,
listen,
y'all. Hey baby, I look good at what I do, man.
You know they look like. You ever see those glasses? Sonny, you ever see those glasses? And they have the eyes in them to make you look Asian, but it's a fake eye. That's what you look like with them on. It's like the little stunt glasses.
And you take them off, you be
yeah. They got the little eyes already look like Asian.
Oh, we love you guys.
Count me in Asia.
No doubt, man. We love you, boy. And let me just say this to you, man, before we go. May you be blessed in all the things that you do every day, man, and may you prosper in each and everything that you do each day that you do it, man. You know what I mean? And I just want to let you know, man, I appreciate you, man, and your flowers and all that, man. I want to give for you.
And
today,
if you need that media help, that social media help flyers, let us know. Just hit us up. We got you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate any type of media coverage, we got you.
I appreciate it. Y'all are great.
Stay off my WGs, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man.
Hey, man.
I gotta see.
I'm a friend. I'm gonna tell you the real. You ain't got no real friends. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Hey, that's why I'm Fallout guy. I fell out with all my friends, man. Most of my friends, because I keep it 100 for them. And
hey, man,
you ain't ready for this.
Man. So you know, with that being said, hey, God, man, one love, baby, and we'll see you another time, my brother.
We appreciate it.
Peace.